Hello, and welcome to Nurtural Disasters. This is a podcast for those of us with toxic or emotionally immature parents. We might not have a bunch of credentials next to our names, but we do have PhDs from the Hard Knocks University. Basically, we want this to be a validating space for adult children of parents who had no business having children.
Welcome to part 2 of our interview with Megan Morrow, the singer of our theme song. So we're just going to hop right into it. If you haven't heard the first part of the interview, please go back and listen to that episode. Okay, so we could probably, Megan, if you want to talk about your songwriting next, we'll probably go into that.
Okay. Yeah.
Lisa, do you have any questions queued up?
Are you rubbing your hands?
Yes, at the moment, because this is not going to be in the show.
Oh, okay. I was like, he's cold. Wow.
Yeah, it's very cold. It's 68 degrees.
Are you shoveling snow from your car?
In my mind, maybe.
Yeah, what?
Snow. Oh, no. Too many ice crystals from the freezer I have.
Yeah, I'd like to talk about the writing process. And you said that, Megan, some of the songs are about your parents. I think that would be really interesting to talk about and how it influenced.
Yeah. Um, I'll admit like a lot of my songs are kind of honestly about relationships, or in my case, I've realized that fantasize. Like growing up, I fantasized a lot about like relationships. Oof, and that's kind of like another topic that I know is like a lot. But either way, the hot and cold behavior created a limerence in me, and I've been Googling a lot about limerence, and it can be born from your childhood. It can be born from like if you were kind of like emotionally neglected as a child. And so that kind of tracks from my growing up years because my parents worked, full time. I didn't see them like a lot, or I mean, I saw them a lot, but they weren't always like emotionally with me. So I think like I've struggled like in my romantic life in trying to find healthy partners. And so that goes into my music. I think they say limerence is like you get really good at imagining love. And so I often have in the past written about like imagining love. And then when my mom passed away, I did write a song about her, and I kind of like, and because I was really close with her, it really did feel I was losing like a huge attachment because she was sort of like my closest relationship, I guess. Where I could just talk about anything almost. And so in one of the lyrics I have, it's like, I felt like I was losing everything I had. Well, yeah, that's like one part of a song I wrote. I could say more, but I'll just kind of stop for there for now.
Did you release the songs yet? Like the about your mom?
No, I haven't. I'm like way behind. I released the Clouded one. I'm going to be releasing the song about my uncle. That's going to be in June. I'm gonna be releasing another song about the limerence, also probably like June, July. And then that song I haven't even gone in the studio for. Yeah, I've been, for a long story, like super long story, like I put my songwriting on hold for a really long time because I went to school for music. And I think I was like on track for that for a while. And I even did opera for a bit. And so all of this is like just started to come to the forefront like just last year. So I'm hoping to go in the studio and record that one soon and then release that one, hopefully by the end of the year.
So it's definitely, even that you're in the musical sphere, kind of recording the music and performing it is kind of like your little personal space. It's kind of like the thing you want to do.
Yeah.
Because you could tell stories and really use your talents in a way where I think it's probably fulfilling for you and it's enjoyable for us.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'm glad it is. And yeah, it is for me. Yeah, I've definitely wanted to do like this for a long time. Songwriting has always been personal, and I guess this is a way for me to kind of um, also challenge the maybe the fear of being seen by releasing my songs and letting people get to know this other part of me, just some of my, relationships and feelings I have, and it'd be great, yeah, if people connect to it. And that's ultimately like the goal.
Another question. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Would you be willing to put yourself out there if your mom was still alive? Like write these songs and actually have her watch you perform these songs on stage? Or is there kind of like this something that if your mom was alive, you probably wouldn't try to do?
That's an interesting question. Actually, that kinda, connects to one of my songs. My mom had told my grandma that I wrote songs. She told her, like, maybe, 2 years after I started guitar, and unfortunately, my uncle had taken his life, like, maybe 2 months before she had told my grandma, but my grandma had been, like, excited, and, like, I think my grandma must have had, like, some party, and so you know, my grandma wanted me to perform for my family, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'll play this song about my uncle," and I was thinking, like, that would be, like, a great way because we didn't do a funeral for him, but my mom was like, "No, don't play that song." And so I played a different one instead, and this one was just kind of like it's a song I wrote called "Deliver Me." Um, it was kind of just like a cutesy little, like, I don't know how you call it, like, I don't know, like a teenager, I tried to make a song that sounded like a love song, but it was really just about a crush, and I think back then I didn't sing it with enough confidence, and I played it for my family, um, and I think that one experience just, like, they didn't I don't think they liked it. Um, my self-esteem wasn't, like, I didn't have really, like, good self-esteem back then, so that honestly didn't motivate me to keep going with it.
It's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword to be performing in front of your family because you're thinking it's a safe space, but then you're like, what if they're disappointed and I still have to see him for the rest of this trip. So it's you do it to strangers. It's like, okay, messed up. Well, I'm never gonna see them again. But with family, it just they're gonna know, and someone's gonna say something, maybe to each other in a group chat. But I could see why that would be so intimidating and kind of not fun.
Yeah, it really did make me think that I wasn't that good at songwriting, and I think, I was going to school from, like, I went to school for music a year later. I think a part of me was like, "Well, I wanna see what they like anyway," and, I think I started getting into, like, just playing classical piano, and I remember they really liked that. I remember my grandma had another birthday, and we were all like, a couple of our family members, like, did music lessons, and they enjoyed that. So yeah, I really, like, for a long time, I really didn't actually believe I was good at it. And my mom, like, I think, like, when she was still alive, I still was singing opera. Musicians, maybe, like, there's a part of us that kinda seeks some validation sometimes, maybe not healthfully, but, like, just maybe just, you know, unintentionally, and I think, like, I definitely enjoyed, getting some of the attention from opera, even though I wanted to be, seen for the thoughts I had, like my own original thoughts in my songs. So to answer that, I don't know. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I'm sure she would be supportive of me. I was always really shy and I didn't like play a lot of my songs for her.
I feel like there would have been a point where you're just like, she's gonna smile, and then you're gonna be like, it's okay, unless you sing about like really raunchy stuff. I think she would be okay with it. The raunchy stuff, she might be needs to be prepared for that.
I did write a couple raunchy ones.
Oh my god, did you hear them?
No, no. Yeah, I wrote them just, like, last year. Um,
Oh, that's too
yeah.
bad because, that whole time she was, like, parentifying you and telling you all the shit that, like, goes so inappropriate, like, now's your turn, mom." Ever heard of a WAP? Okay. Can you imagine?
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. About that, I want to talk about that because I remember only hearing in the beginning, only hearing the clean version of that song. So I'm like bumping it in my car, like the clean version, right? And then I finally found the dirty version. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what they're singing about.
You know, like Ben Shapiro, like, "What? What?"
And then after a while, like I still listen to it in the car, but I can't bump the volume up anymore. the dirty version. It's just can't. So let me tell you about that one story where I'm just like, I think I was like, I was in like Albertsons parking lot, right? And I don't know, this was probably, I'm not sure how long ago it was. I just remember I went into Albertsons parking lot and I was bumping straight up gangster rap, like from the 90s. And it was like loud. And then I'm like driving around and I'm like, oh, Girl Scout cookies. And you see like a bunch of these little girls. And I'm like bumping DMX. And I'm like, oh, hi, little girls. Yeah, on sale. Okay, let me park. And my face was like, ah. It was like, horrified. I'm
Funny.
I'm I'm just gonna be like that, the 75-year-old grandpa that like bumps gangster rap. And by the way, I work in South LA. That guy does exist.
You're like, that's my future.
That's my future.
So, Ken, do you just play it in front of your dad? X gon' give it to you. You just bump it really loud, and your dad only listens to like, you know, Chinese music,
Oh my gosh,
like Wing.
okay, I might as well just let this out because my mom and my dad would always have some comment about me watching television shows with black people in it.
Hmm.
So you could just infer what they meant by that. It was like, oh, you're always
Uh-huh.
watching TV shows with black people in it,
Uh-huh. Oh.
and
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
oh, nothing. It's like stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Well, you should have saw their faces when when I was dating a black girl and brought her home.
I'm sure though they loved it.
Oh yeah, they loved it.
Mhm.
Poor girl, like could have said anything. Like she could have said like she's. Oh yeah, I'm like oh yeah,
I cured cancer. I cured
I cure
cancer.
cancer, and it'd be like, but look at her, not Asian. Like and they'll do that little finger thing, not Asian.
What is that? Wait, what is that finger thing?
It's actually it's not even an Asian thing. It's almost like a Italian thing. Not Asian.
Okay.
It'll be like something like that with their accent
Oh,
that I can't.
is it like with your when they hold their fingers
Yeah,
like together? Oh, so it's like the Italian, but it's Asian. It's like
yeah. But the thing is,
we you only date Chinese girl. You only date.
okay.
No,
But
because your ex told
yeah.
me she's like your mom kicked her out of the house.
Oh wow, that's major. That could literally be another episode.
Oh shit,
That's
yeah.
my mom when it was a sound mind. That was horrific for me. That's probably one of the most embarrassing and
My God.
destructive moments in my life with my parents. Should we talk about that, or should I just
Oh,
talk about
you
that
know
later
what?
on? Because
Well,
that's like
we got to save that one.
that's like a
But
monster of like a thing. Yeah. This is probably gonna get cut out. So there's probably like 3 or 4 things I want to talk about my parents throughout this duration of this hopefully very long podcast series. One of
mhm.
them is how when I was 25, my dad ruined my 25th birthday party by kicking everybody out of my birthday party. By the way, I invited everyone. There was like 100 people there in my backyard, and everybody just like hugging me and stuff like that. And the reason that was a big deal with me is my dad and my mom has never thrown a birthday party for me. Never ever have they thrown a birthday party for me that I could
Mhm.
remember. And I always tell this to Amy, and I'm like, my dad, they never do. Every time I had a birthday party is because my cousin, who was her birthday's like 2 days before me, they would push me along with her. But look, it's both your birthdays. And that's how they got away with it.
Mhm.
So that was one of them. The second one was that the issue where my mom's like, this is a Chinese house. And I'm like, good God. That's a horrible thing to say. And a lot of that was from, it wasn't even much as my mom as my dad was feeding her information to do it. Like he
Mhm.
didn't want to be the one to get his hands dirty, but he was thinking the same thing. So
Oh,
he made my mom do it.
the flying monkey.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
she made my mom the flying monkey.
Mhm.
Mm.
So, and was it the third thing is
How
I
you
would
like
say
to play gangster rap in front of your parents.
that leads into there because what happened was I was friends with a DJ and he was like, "I'll play with anything you want." I was like, I don't know, play some In Sync with some freaking gangster rap mixed in between, you know." My dad told me to cut that music out, and he used his finger and he was like poking me in like the chest, like the whole time while everybody just like looking. It's like everybody just froze and just looked at the situation. Like he poked at my chest. You fix this now and get rid of everybody now because he didn't like the noise. Like he couldn't give me 2 hours. That's really what it is. Okay, sorry, maybe we went on a tangent.
Wow.
Yeah, my dad's a disaster of, like, bringing him anybody I date is like it's like a kiss of death most of the times.
Yeah.
It was a kiss of death. I was dating a couple other girls, and that didn't all that those didn't fare well at all. It was bad. It was bad. The only one he liked was the crazy Japanese girl I dated.
Oh, 'cause she was Asian.
Yeah, but she was psycho.
Oh, like some other Asian girl we know.
Ah, okay, so I'm just wondering, Megan, do you have any things recorded past Clouded that you might wanna use, like, snippets for the show?
Oh, I could. Yeah, I could. I'll be releasing the TED song in June. So I can give like a little snippet of it for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yay.
the
Yeah.
the problem is I listen to a lot NPR, and they love putting in music just, like, in there just by the artist, just a little snippet on there, and then while they talk after, like
Yeah, totally. And I don't mind sharing it. Yeah, it's gonna be I'm planning to release it. So it is ready. It's recorded. I recorded it last year.
and this is a song about is it about your uncle? Is this the song?
Yeah, it is. And I wrote it back in high school. This is the song that uh I wrote we found out sorry, trigger warning, he took his life. And it's actually a long story too,
Oh,
because I told you like that I had a hard time like with friends and friendships in high school.
oh,
Um
Megan, real
Mhm.
quick. Let's just use the word I hate this shit. Yeah, unaliving because it gets people demonetized if you use the S word or whatever. Just say he
Oh.
unalived and stuff. Yeah, that's how podcasters and influencers they
It
get
it
around
it's
that.
it's because, a lot of the formats like YouTube, like, it's heavily enforced,
Yeah.
and,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, just sorry to like
No, yeah, 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 it's important. Okay, so, let me see if I remember. To make a long story short, my uncle unalived himself when I was in high school. Um, I'd barely known him, and I just started to get to know him a year before because back in high school, I had a hard time with friendships. My mom was worried about me, so she signed me up for therapy, and she was working full time. So she asked my uncle, who had been stopping working, to drive me to therapy. And so in that brief course of time, he convinced me to go, even though I wasn't planning to go. That's a long story too. But he took me, and it was an interesting like, period of time where I was just starting to get to know him. And then a year later, he just um, unalived himself, and it was a shock. We didn't have a funeral for him, and I felt like that it felt off. Like I just was like, we need to do something for him. So I wrote this song, and yeah, I remember I played it for my mom, and she was like, "Oh, just don't play that for your grandma." And never, we never talked about it again. Just I wrote that song, and my mom was very sensitive. Um, I I felt like a cognitive dissonance about that song for a long time. And I think especially because of the topic of the song that and I was young. I remember I was like a teenager and teenagers, weren't talking about that. So I didn't know what to do with that song for a long time. But, like when my mom passed away and then like the reality of like just us never having done anything for him, it kind of like weighed on me. So as I started to embark on the songwriting process or recording process of my songs, I made sure that that was the first one I wanted to record.
Yeah, was there a reason why they didn't really I guess, celebrate your uncle when he passed?
Yes, there's a reason. um and I don't know, I'll try to not be triggering about it. um a year after, or like a couple months after my mom passed, I had a lot of questions from my family members because, when she passed away, I realized that she's gone. Like, I can't ask her anything anymore. Like, um, we still have his ashes. And, because when my grandma passed away, none of the family members wanted it. So my mom took it. And I remember before my mom passed away, I'd asked her, like, are we going to do like a service for him? And she was like talking about it fondly, but, never planned anything. And yeah, after she passed away, I talked to some of her like sisters. And one sister told me that he had wrote a note like when he passed away that was uh, almost like it was like a very angry note, because and I still don't really have all the pieces together. I knew that he had been struggling with his, like, mental health, but, one sibling seemed to allege that he had had, like, some sort of bipolar disorder and that he kind of struggled a lot, and he blamed, like, my grandma for, like, his for doing what he did,
Hmm.
um, which is awful.
So he was your mother's your maternal uncle.
He was my, mom's brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maternal uncle. Okay. So one of the basically kid number 5, right?
Uh,
And
yeah,
out of
he
6.
yeah, yeah, she was like, I guess the order doesn't really matter, but, like, she was,
Yeah.
like, the 2nd one, he was the 3rd.
Interesting because, if one person has mental illness, there's usually other people who have the mental illness. It's just they just keep it more under wraps and hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is true. It's like genetic. So I remember last week I was with my dad for, my 2 hours of waterboarding, where he just talked about how, oh yeah, your sister is kind of cuckoo. Uh, but I should have known that because some of my aunts were in the insane asylum. I'm like, great, dad. Thanks for telling me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
family. Yeah, familial, like, mental health issues can run in the family, and I don't know. Yeah, I suspect my mom had something, but, I don't she never went to, like, therapy herself.
But she had you go to therapy, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, you're
Yeah.
her therapist pretty much. So
Yeah, uh-huh.
why pay for it?
Yeah, you're getting
Right.
it for free. My
You get
daughter's
it for
my
free
free
therapy.
That's so funny. Yeah, 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 and I think that's what happened. Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that the song comes out soon. Probably play a little bit of it here, and this will be kind of hopefully a good kind of send off to your uncle,
Yeah, I'm hoping
and
so.
hopefully he's listening somewhere.
Yeah,
And he'll know that someone still remembers him and still loves him.
I think you can present that. Yeah, and I hope so too.
It wasn't this day. He bought the helium tanks. He was ashamed. But he
Okay, so should we end the episode on something lighter? That's pretty. I that okay. So what people have been telling me is sometimes it just gets too heavy, and it's like that's it. And then there's
Okay.
sometimes where it just sounds like, well, Lisa's having a drink and she's like she's over it. Lisa, are you having a drink?
I'm drinking water.
You don't have to lie.
Okay, fine. It's gin, but with it's water, like it's tonic water with gin. Like I'm not lying. It's like
Wait, you're not lying about the water, or you're not lying about, or you're lying about the gin?
well, it's a gin and tonic, but when I said I was drinking water, it's tonic water. It just has gin in it.
Okay, so you are drinking.
Well, I mean, we film at night, and I have a nightcap, so I was like, it's towards the end, whatever. It's not like I'm like slurring my words, like oh my god, or saying something really inappropriate.
That's fine. That's okay. I popped the Ativan before recording.
I know you're like on Adderall.
Yeah, because I had my Adderall, and then I think I had too much caffeine afterwards, so I was like really buzzing. So I
Oh
was like,
well,
I better pop a downer.
yeah. It,
Well, oh, good.
Ambien.
Now this episode is going to be flagged for drug use, prescription drug use.
Oh, we could just cut this out. I mean, Yeah, because
Sometimes if it's too funny, like I just leave it in. Who are we offending? It's like, oh, you don't want to have that on your show. It's like, who's listening to this and like trying to torpedo my career of being an IT technician? Oh man, that guy's crazy. He's a loose cannon. He can't fix my computer. I'm like, for real? Isn't it great to leverage your friends' talents, especially when you have no money to pay them?
oh yeah. Thanks, Megan, for like the free song.
Of course.
But the hope is that she's giving it to us for a nominal fee or free, as they say.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the future, if this grows, it's gonna lift her music career up with it.
Oh
So just think
yeah.
about that.
Ditto, and vice versa for y'all, because yeah, then the podcast will grow, and
Like,
yeah.
wow. For the next call her daddy.
It's always call her daddy with you. It's like, are we gonna get there? I did it.
It's one of the biggest ones, right? Besides Joe Rogan.
My therapist always reminds me because I mentioned him. It was like, oh man, the podcast. It's like it's doing great, but it's tough to get it out there. And he always tells me about like a diary of CEOs. Like, this guy just recorded out of his like kitchen, right? And look at where he is now. And I look around, and I am in my kitchen right now.
I see. You got to start somewhere.
I know, and it's hard, honestly, when you're first starting kind of like from nothing, sort of. It's empty kind of canvas, and it's so hard to put yourself out there, even when it's like it's interesting, it's intriguing material that you're putting out there. It's something that we really believe in. So honestly, it's kind of like putting yourself out there, going on dates, right? You're trying to sell your podcast to someone, and like you're hoping that it's like, oh yeah, I'll listen to it, and that feels great to you, but there's a lot of, oh, I'm not a podcast person. I don't think I'm gonna listen to it, or I didn't like it, or something like that. And every rejection like that is pretty much mirroring every kind of other rejection that you kind of want to stay away from. And honestly, a lot of people don't like rejection. It hurts, and you keep putting yourself out there like that. This is why I don't sell life insurance anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it. It like I know for me, for this podcast, I really believe in this project, and I really want to make it successful, not only for me, but for you, Lisa. Like it's like I feel like it's something that we really, when you love the thing you do, it's not work. And I don't think this is work for us. It's just something that comes out so naturally, right? I'm actually excited to put out s- like content for this podcast.
Yeah, it it's weird. It's like there's a lot of mixture of emotions, and part of me is like, oh my god, people are gonna hear this, and I hate the sound of my own voice. So when I hear it back, I'm like, cringing, like nails on a chalkboard, kind of. I For me, I don't know if Megan, I don't know when you listen to yourself singing, do you ever go, oh, I sound like that? What?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I try to get over it. I don't know if I'll ever get over it. I don't know. It's so hard. And I don't know, can you have that confidence to just be like, I'm so proud of it. I can put it out there. And for me, it's like, people are going to listen to my like night, whiny, nasally. And it's like, and sometimes it sounds like Valley Girl, like, oh my God, like, and I say, a lot. I notice I say that too. So I cut it out when I'm like, when I'm editing it. And I'm like, oh, and I've noticed like speech patterns too. Mine's yours, and probably Megan's now. I'm like, oh, that's her speech pattern. She says
Yeah.
this a lot. Uh, it's just so hard for me to put myself out there. The insecurity, Ah,
It's really tough. That's why, like a couple weeks ago, like I was so glad that you told me you want to take over the social media aspect of it, at least on Instagram, because I've been telling people, social media, especially on Instagram and like Facebook and stuff like that, like it's hazardous for your health a little bit. There have been times where I'm just sitting there, I was like, people aren't liking this, people aren't sharing it, people aren't engaging with this, maybe they don't like it, and it's just constantly putting this strain on what people think of you, right? Because it's so much about likes and engagement. And when you're not getting any, it hurts. It's almost like maybe people don't like it. And I always think about that.
I mean, it's a commitment to ask people to listen to like an hour, well, no, roughly like an hour-long podcast. But at the same time, it's like we would know you have a commute. You can commit, At least with Megan, it's like it's a song. It's what like 2-3 minutes. For us, it's like an hour. But so anything that you create and like you put so much work into, and then it just doesn't get the reception that you're like, oh, it's like, did I do all this work for nothing? Yeah, it's and Megan can relate because she's a creative type. Constantly all these songs, and it's like, are people listening to it, or is it just going into a black hole? I don't know.
Megan, how do you deal with that? I'm pretty sure you've thought about this before, being a musician, and especially now that you've kind of crossed over into making your own music and actually recording it and distributing it and playing live. You've got to feel like that kind of like uneasiness each time you go up there, right?
Well, yeah, of course. Totally. Doing a podcast, each hour, like, segment, yeah. I mean, I would say writing a song can be like, taking like 5 minutes to like, several days, months. Yeah. And I overthink it a lot. Yeah. I definitely, that's like, that's probably why I didn't even release my songs until now. Yeah. Yeah, 100% relate to just what will people think or will I like how I sound? And I'm in, especially like talking. I don't feel comfortable exactly like doing a podcast either. I think I'll hear myself saying the word like a lot, or I might hear myself like jumble two words together or just trying to get like, used to looking in the mirror and just letting myself see myself, which is, yeah, not easy. But, you know, I think people like seeing all of us be vulnerable and putting ourselves out there. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's like you're making yourself vulnerable, put yourself out there.
Yeah.
It is, and yeah, you said it
Yeah.
perfectly, Megan. Yeah, hopefully that smooths over like the harsh topics we talked about, and people are like, "You talked about really horrible shit," and then now, "Oh, bye." Hopefully, it's not like you, you know.
Well, here's the thing. What I've been trying to tell people to kind of get them to listen is we talk about really tough things throughout the whole like hour, but we try to make it kind of like lighthearted at certain moments. Like we try to joke around a little bit. I think me as well, Lisa, is like we kind of just have this odd take on things. We're like comedic takes on things that happen in our lives, especially with our parents. We're just like we goof around a little bit, so it's not entirely just
Super serious. There's some levity,
yeah.
yeah, and but when you watch the news and it's like this murder happened, it's usually towards like the 2/3 of the way, and then there's like the lighthearted. Oh no, we're gonna talk about puppy adoption, and have you noticed that it's like the last 10 minutes is something super lighthearted to like take the edge off of like, yes, a bunch of babies were drowned to death. Like what the fuck, you watch. When you watch the news, you're like, what the? It's really jarring. And it makes you feel so hopeless and helpless about the world. And then they're like, oh, but it's always something about children or animals that's like very like, oh, look at the puppy adoptions and oh, look at this cute. I'm like, okay, you know what? It kind of eases you.
Well,
You know,
palate cleanser. They kind of
it's the,
start off
yeah,
that they start off the
yes.
hour with someone getting killed,
Mhm.
and then they continue with people getting robbed,
Yeah.
and then they talk about the traffic, and then they talk about the weather, and then a couple people getting killed again, and then they go to
Yeah.
their human interest story, uh, pet adoptions. This 10-year-old kid is in college and going to graduate soon, and they have like stories like that, and then you go to sports.
Oh, yeah. Kid of the week. Yeah. It's a roller coaster of
It's
like,
always like a kid that's like 1 in a 10 million. Like no other kid's gonna be like that kid. But we're gonna show you.
yeah. He got into MIT and he's only 10 years old. Like,
Yeah.
feel
So
good.
he's tutoring the other kids.
Yeah, he actually he teaches the other professors how to like, right, the palate cleanser, and we need to start working on that, a palate cleanser. Maybe
Oh,
we'll just
we tend to have palate cleansers at the end. We usually talk about like us being alcoholics and stuff like that, or something like that.
I thought so too, but if enough people are complaining,
Oh,
it's
sometimes
just
it's just a little bit too abrupt. Yeah.
maybe
So pretty
okay.
much, okay. So pretty much end it
Like,
with, well, we were talking about how like me and Lisa have our podcast and Megan has her music career. And really, we've kind of are at that age where, if not now, when? If this is something that we truly love, we should do it. What's the problem here? I think this is it. Like, we don't really have to please our parents anymore. We don't really have to please our peers on the most part. So whatever we have in our mind and we feel like we should do a project or something like that, I feel like we should just get it out there. Because it's like, after this point, it's just going to be regrets after regrets if we don't do it. If we believe in something, we should do it.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Same.
So
Facts.
meet you at the awards dinner in 3 or 4 years.
See you there.
I know. Maybe we'll do lunch when we're all doing well.
Yes.
And you know how me and you, Lisa, in particular, we're kind of petty. We're not sure if you're so petty, Megan, but me and Lisa are like petty. We're like
Speak for yourself. What?
we're like, who ignored our pleas for just listen to this podcast or just pass it to someone you might know and just totally dismissed us? We're gonna remember that. But the good thing is we remember all the people that supported us.
Mhm. Definitely relate.
You'll get a car in your garage when we make it. Because it's hard, right? It's like, when you put yourself out there, people always have excuses where they're like, oh, I don't really listen to podcasts. I don't listen to this stuff. Or with Megan, it's like, oh, I don't really like pop music or this kind of thing. And it's just like, well, I know, and it's just a matter of just try it, or maybe spread it to someone that you think might like it. And that's really what you ask for, really. It's like, you don't have to like it, but just pass it along, right? When you have something, no one could make something that everybody likes. And when you do a podcast about toxic parenting, it's even a smaller niche. But the thing is, the niches might be the thing that actually helps you gain an audience. But I don't think there's a huge market for a bunch of victims of bad parenting, and now we're talking about it, putting our parents on blast.
Yeah, I mean, people need your content, like, and especially like, it's true. You guys like you have a great balance of talking about the issues and then also bringing the levity too and the humor in it. I mean, I think there's definitely a good plethora of like podcasts that talk about toxic parenting in like a clinical sense, but not so much in a casual way. And I think people need to feel like they have like they're listening to people who are experiencing what they're experiencing.
Exactly. I think that's our niche, because I even put it in the trailer. I especially put it in the trailers. Like, why listen to a licensed therapist tell you what's going on? Listen to me and Lisa, because we have no degrees or whatsoever. We're not doctors. We don't have any cures to anything. We're just here to, have the therapy session that's being recorded. Right, Lisa?
Facts. I'm trying to appeal to the Gen Z audience, Gen Alpha,
Well, hopefully, maybe they'll find the show too eventually, right? It's in the
Yeah.
internet. They'll find it eventually
No
once
cap.
they get once they get once they
Stop,
get
stop mogging.
once they get over all of that stuff and TikTok,
It'd be 6, 7, They get off their giats while they're mewing. We can.
Oh my god. Okay, so I think this is
this way we cooked. We left no crumbs, and we ate down.
okay.
We
Good
just
place to end the show, everybody. Good place to end the show.
Yeah.
Okay. It was nice talking to you, Megan. Hope you come on the show one more time or several more
Yes.
times and make it a regular thing.
Yay! Thanks for
Yeah.
having me, of course. Would love to.
Yes, come back, please.
And of course, thank you for the theme song. Most of all, thank you for the theme song, and thank you for your support.
Oh my god,
And
yeah.
we're very happy to support you too. We hope you make it big, and we hope we make it big. We both make it big at the same time, and then we could just all laugh about it when we were both big.
In our
All
yachts.
three of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just let's all have that kind of ambition and just work towards that. because why not?
Hmm.
Yes. Mm,
All right. Okay. Okay. Bye, Lisa.
Bye, Ken. Bye, Megan.
bye.
Try